Hello everyone, it's Mike from Chess Lifestyle, and today we're going to be training a shorter stream today. Just haven't really had the time, as the title suggests, been all over the place. So yeah, because I'm a bit tight for time, I think let's just get to it. Let's solve some Woodpecker. Basically, we're 8 exercises away from having 100 exercises to go. So let's see if we can solve 8 exercises. It's not going to happen, but you know, we can dream. We can dream. So yeah, let's just lock in for 40 minutes. Okay, so we've got queen, rook, rook, bishop, bishop, knight, knight, and 5 pawns against queen, rook, rook, bishop, bishop, knight, knight, and 6 pawns. So we're a pawn down. What is going on? So the bishop is kind of cutting their king. Their king is 2 moves away from castling. Knights are kind of looking menacing. Queen is kind of on this file. Bishop may be able to enter somehow. White is also not castled. Queen and bishop on a dark square. Pressure on the knight, pressure on these pawns. More pressure on the knight. There's actually 2 pieces attacking the knight, 1 defender. Pressure on this pawn as well. That's actually loose. There's x-ray to d8. That could be relevant. Yeah, it's almost x-rays to the king, so like knight e6 is looking very tempting, especially given it threatens mate. I mean, okay, let's just quickly analyze knight e6. I mean, it looks super good. I was just thinking in the sense that if the pawn takes, then there's bishop check. And pawn takes, and there's mate. Knight takes. We are threatening knight c7. Maybe black has the move bishop b4, but we are hitting the square twice, so we could take it. Yeah, I don't know. This it's not immediately winning. Like, it requires some more calculation, I think. Does look promising though. So okay, let's have a very quick look at all of our checks. So what, we got knight d6, knight f6. That's it. Then captures knight e6, knight c6, queen h6. And then what about threats? Not too sure. So yeah, knight d6 is just not the answer. Like, bishop takes. I guess you can still go for knight e6, but once the bishop takes, I mean, the king has f8, doesn't feel as good. Knight f6, probably they just take with the pawn. Again, doesn't feel like it should be it. So okay, let's look at knight e6. So knight e6, if pawn takes bishop h5, that is definitely leading to mate. Knight e6. If they play bishop b4 and we go rook takes, they can take with the knight or queen. And do we have a follow-up? Yes, we can go knight d6 with mate. Because all of these squares are taken. So in that case, I think knight e6 is just working. Knight e6, is there anything else to consider? I mean, any capture here, we're meeting it with this, because even if this knight captures, we're covering d7. So knight e6, if queen e4, knight c7, okay, I'm really sure this works. g5, I didn't see this move. That's very annoying. Did not consider g5 as an option. Okay, so we go back in the tank. But yeah, we really should see g5 as a candidate. So okay, we've got knight c7 or knight g7. We've got knight d6 or knight f6. Definitely want to be playing with a check, I think. Knight f6, knight takes f6, knight c7, king e7, queen d6 mate. Is that all forced? If knight f6, king e7 immediately is met by queen d6. So yeah, that wins. Okay. Nice. Wow, so Anand actually lost this one. Against Rajabov. Okay. Nice. Welcome Bob, welcome Cameron. Welcome Sapsara. Okay. Gang, gang, gang. Let's go. Knight takes e6 looks strong, surely. Yeah, knight e6, bishop b4. Oh, knight c7 was mate immediately? Oh, shit. No, because knight c7 there's king f8. Bishop b4, knight c7 is king f8. So on bishop b4, we just take on b4. And then however they take back, knight d6 is mate. I'm pretty sure that's right. Who's playing British Rapid Play? I am not playing British. What does that mean? Sapsara will make random comments, so I wouldn't think too deeply about it, Cameron. Yeah, no, I'm not playing the British Rapid. Are you, Sapsara? Okay, Vanchuk, Anand blindfolded. Yeah, king f8, indeed. Okay. White to play. And I really encourage everyone on chat to, like, you know, post their answers and stuff. Like, don't be afraid of getting it wrong. Don't be afraid of being embarrassed. Like, in a real chess game, you need to be able to make a move and be decisive about it. You can't just, like, be like, oh yeah, I'd probably play that move or something like that. Like, so use this chance to actually, like, lock in on an answer and go for it. I mean, don't just post, like, every idea you see under the sun, but, like, actually think, lock in your answer, and then suggest a move. And this is why I'd recommend if you want to make the most out of these sessions for yourself. Okay, so we've got queen, rook, rook, bishop, and 6 pawns against queen, rook, rook, knight, and 5 pawns. We are a pawn up. We've got bishop for knight. Queen is on the line of our bishop. Knight is kind of hovering dangerously. Queen is pressuring g7, x-ray. Some x-ray tension between the rooks. Rook is covered by the queen but undeveloped. Same with this guy. Loose queen. Double pressure on the knight, double defense. f4 in the air, potentially. Fine, so loose queen, any other loose pieces? Loose queen as well. Maybe gotta be careful of this. Maybe be careful of this. Maybe there's some x-ray this way one day. Maybe some plans to use a g-file. Okay, so checks, captures, threats. We have no checks. What about captures? We've got rook takes knight, we've got queen takes knight. What about threats? f4, h4, king h1. Just develop with rook d1 or something. Not really a threat, but it's a move. A non-forcing move. Okay, so no checks. Let's look at rook takes e5. Rook takes e5, probably just queen takes e5. Queen e5, rook e5, nothing. So if queen takes e5, just rook takes e5, and we're lost. So that's all the captures. What about threats? If we go f4, queen just takes, and we're still defending the knight. Although we're no longer in a pin. So maybe if that happened, we can take on b7, for instance. So maybe that's an option. h4, if they were to take, then we do win the knight. If they play queen f6, we can always go f4. So h4. If they try and throw in a check, we can take. I believe that's the only check that they can do. If h4 and they play queen f5, well, we're now out of a pin, which does feel a little better. I'm not so sure. I mean h4. They've also got queen f4. That still defends the knight. h4 even queen f6. So yeah, I'm not sure. What other threats did we have? I mean, king h1 feels a bit slow to play for rook g1, but it doesn't seem that bad. I'm just having a quick look, rook e5 and playing f4 here. But again, yeah, they're going to take with the queen. What am I talking about? So f4, immediately, queen takes. I wonder if f4, queen takes, we can go rook e4 with tempo on the queen. And wherever the queen goes to defend the knight, maybe we hit rook e1. And the point is that we're threatening the knight. If the knight moves, we pick up the rook. Maybe that's an idea. Also, if they play f6 to secure the knight, we've got f4 to follow up. The queen is always defending the 6th rank. Or 3rd rank, I should say. So maybe that's it. f4, queen takes, and rook e4. I mean, f4 comes with a threat on the knight. So that's quite nice. It means, like, they can't just move the queen back or something. So f4, queen takes, rook e4, looks really good. Just trying to double check if I've missed any ideas. Nah, it looks correct. Rook e4, and okay, here we can still take the queen. We don't have to worry about some discovery. Nice. Okay, that was cool. Can't believe they found this blindfold though. It's kind of crazy. Raphael says 1 done, 7 to go. Raphael, are you playing a tournament or? Oh, you're see, that's my short-term memory, right? I forgot that. Yeah, I've got 8 puzzles to solve to be 100 to go. So yeah, appreciate the count. So 2 down. Let's go. Okay, Cameron looking at f4, queen f4, rook e4, and then rook e1. Very nice. Yeah. And Bob says it's promising. Good stuff. Yeah, h4, I think like they don't have to take. They can always move the queen back and keep defense on the knight. What are your chances of reaching 2000 FIDE before October? Your FIDE is what, Arjun? Remind me of your FIDE. English Championship now requires a minimum FIDE of 2000. Hasn't it always, or was it 1900? Maybe it was 1900 for some time. Oh, and actually, minimum FIDE of 2000. Oh. Huh. Interesting. 1842. Oh, that's going to be a grind. I mean, what? You need to gain 75 points in back-to-back months to reach 2000. It's doable if you play, like, 2 tournaments in, like, July, 2 tournaments in August, and you have 4 amazing events. Very doable. Yeah, you'd probably want to pick some nice ones, like 9-rounders in Europe, where you can really lock in, not have any work to worry about. I forget that most people have to work during the summer holidays, so they don't get a break. So yeah, I don't know, Arjun. I mean, if you take the tournament seriously and you play like several back-to-back, then it's possible. If you're just playing like the odd 4-CL game, then, well, impossible, right? But okay, let's focus back on the tactics. So, Anand against Aronian. We got Queen, Rook, Bishop, Bishop, 4 pawns against Queen, Rook, Bishop, Knight, and 6 pawns. So we've got bishop pair. We've got 2 extra pawns. Our pieces are all kind of in the vicinity of white's king, which is good. The downside is it feels a tiny bit loose, but it is our turn. So, in terms of tension, we've got pressure on the knight. We'd also love to come in on the light squares. That would be really nice, coupled with the bishop. There's a pawn tension on the pawn with support from the bishop. X-ray tension to the defense to the rook. Rook is on pre. There's no checks immediately to the king except for queen h7, which is bad. Queen is loose, rook is loose, bishop is loose. Bishop is loose, queen is loose. Rook is loose. So, okay. Yeah, let's start with our checks. So, the only check I can see is rook e1, which just hangs a full rook for no gain. So not that. Captures, we've got queen takes knight, rook takes pawn on f2, rook takes pawn on b2, pawn takes g3. And then what about threats? Maybe bishop g4, bishop f1, bishop g2. I don't know if I mentioned, but queen takes knight is a capture as well. Queen e8, trying to exploit this piece. Maybe rook e3. Okay, so we've got some threats as well. So let's start with our captures. If we capture on f2, king just takes. Take with a pawn. Take with a bishop. Let's say they just be greedy and take here. I mean, are they getting cooked? Probably not. I feel like they're escaping. Yeah, rook f2 feels too good to be true. That's probably the wrong phrase. It just looks bad. Let's just say that. Rook f2 looks bad. Pawn takes g3. If they take our rook, we can then go pawn takes h2. The knight is pinned to the queen. And king h1 is then forced. In which we can go queen g4. Covering e6 from any checks. Queen e8 is still a check though. Queen e8 is just one check, king h7, and we're fine. Unless they've got knight g5 there. So the line I was looking at was pawn takes, queen takes, queen g4, queen e8. Oh, we've got bishop f8. That's probably fine. Yeah, there's a threat of queen g2, which is very powerful. And a pawn on h2 is very strong. Guess there might be like knight h4 there. Yeah, don't see the win after all of that. Pawn takes g3 is promising though. Yeah, let's keep looking though for now. Queen takes knight. We'll come back to it maybe. Queen takes knight, queen takes queen. Yeah, no follow-up. That's all the captures, I think. Oh, I also said rook takes b2, but I mean, it doesn't seem bad. Rook takes b2, maybe rook a8. Maybe that's the kind of counterplay that we're after. Yeah, I don't really want to allow that. If that's the case, we need to watch out for this rook a8 all the time. What about this queen e8? Queen e8, if they save the bishop, bishop a5 or something, bishop b6. Don't have rook e1 just yet. What about bishop g4? Yeah, I don't know, maybe even just knight h4 seems okay. Rook e3, just pawn takes. If pawn takes, then we got queen takes f3 though. I mean, how do we defend in that position? Probably like queen d2. But then we can take on e3, hitting the queen, and if queen c2, we can push again, blocking the queen. So rook e3, if pawn takes, we just take with the queen. They can't play queen f1. Can't play queen e2. Rook e3, pawn e3, queen f3, queen c2 maybe. Pawn takes e3 anyway. Yeah, and we're threatening e2. It looks very strong. I guess rook e3, pawn e3. Sorry, rook e3, pawn e3, queen takes f3, queen c2. If pawn takes e3, rook e1. But then we can go bishop takes g3, pawn g3, queen g3, king h1 forced, and queen takes e1. Is at least regaining our material, and we won a bunch of pawns. At the least. So yeah, rook e3 actually looks very strong. Rook e3, are there any other candidates that we're missing out that we need to worry about? Like rook e3, rook a8, we just take the queen. Nothing. Rook e3, pawn e3, queen f3. Really nothing. Yeah, I think let's go for it. Nice. And this is why, yeah, I wanted to avoid having to delve deeper into this fg3 because, yeah, I guess actually, I guess this queen takes e2 line is lost. I couldn't calculate why though. Ah, bishop g4. But that's the thing, I don't need to find bishop g4 because if I can find another line that wins and it's more concrete, then I should just play that. So that's where the shallow calculation is coming in very handy. But yeah, bishop g4 is nice because then, yeah, the queen covers e8, bishop still covering e6. And we have a big threat. Yeah, it's a nice move. Maybe I should have considered like how to keep tabs on e8 because I reckon queen g4 and now it's a mess. Yeah, queen e8 and there's knight g5. Yeah, that's the issue. So yeah, I didn't want to look into that anymore. But yeah, takes, h takes is apparently the move. Bishop g3. I mean, like a stronger player might end up calculating this like really a lot, like this kind of position. But that's where like yeah, the shallow calculation, they'd also be able to calculate rook e3 wins. But if they don't even consider it, then they're not going to play it. That's the point. Yeah, I feel like with 2000 FIDE Arjun, like probably your best bet is to just play like some tournaments in Europe back to back. Go with like a friend or two, and yeah, if like you get into the flow and get into your form, and you beat like several 2000 players like over the course of a tournament, then yeah, you can make these games quite fast, and you are capable of beating them. If you're on your top game. So that's probably the way to do it. But whether you can get the time off work to go do that, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, nice bob. Rook e3, f3, queen f3, queen c2, fe3, rook e1, bishop g3. Nice, that's the same line I looked at. Yeah, exactly. So this is what I was saying about strong players like Cameron spending ages on f takes g3. Like, yeah, it's very easy to do if you don't take a step back. Yep, and looks like Peter had the same line as well. Beautiful. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, great. Let's move on to the next one. Ah, nice. Oh, I'm just realizing actually, 7 p.m. There is the ECF It's Your Move chess podcast playing right now. So actually, yeah, when this stream finishes, probably you can catch the end of the the end of the ECF stream. But okay, let's ECF episode. I mean, basically, I'm interviewing an arbiter, FIDE arbiter, about all these kind of like tournament chess nuances. So if you kind of want to have an idea of like, you know, what the rules are when, let's say, both sides are in check and like all this kind of shenanigans, yeah, we basically delve into this for an hour, like different kind of like tournament situations. Obviously, varying difficulties, right? Like, you know, there's some basics that we cover as well, of course, but we get pretty into it. So it's a quite nice episode, I think. But yeah, let's keep training. So Carlsen against Anand. Yeah, let's count the pieces. We got Queen Rook Rook Bishop Knight against Queen Rook Rook Bishop Bishop. So they've got Bishop pair. We've got 1 2 3 4 5 6 against 5. So we're pawn up. They have an extra dark squared bishop. Now, okay. What's going on? So there's some tension on h7. X-ray tension on the bishop. Bishop X-raying our queen in a pin on the knight. So the knight's got some pressure. Bishop's on the line of our king. Queen is eyeing up f2, but this is somewhat solid. Rook is pressuring the pawn. We're defending it twice. F3 might be an option at some point if we want to kick away this bishop. Okay. I'm just having a look at any more x-rays that I might be missing. There's also pressure on a1. As I said, that might be a thing. Pressure here. Okay, fine. And then loose pieces. Loose bishop, loose bishop, loose bishop. And that's it. So, okay, what checks do we have? We've got bishop h7. What captures do we have? Don't have any captures. What threats do we have? Maybe a move to threaten the bishop, like rook b1 or queen b1, queen b3. No way to hit the queen. Maybe a move to threaten the bishop here, like f3 or h3. Probably not h3, bishop takes. Maybe we can move the knight with tempo on the bishop. That's another option. So I guess we're just looking at all these threats. So maybe let's start there. I mean, let's start with the check. Bishop takes, king takes. Is there some logic here? Queen b1. Maybe there's this fork. If king g8 and we take the bishop, we hit the rook as well. So they don't really have time to take our knight. Because if they take our knight, we take the rook. And they take our rook and we take the bishop. So in that final position, we both have a queen and rook. And we should have won a pawn. And we're actually already up one pawn? I forgot. Yeah, we're already up one pawn. So this looks very good. So bishop h7 and then queen b1. Can you imagine that these puzzles are in the same section as the previous puzzle? Not previous puzzle. I mean, like previous 2 days ago. You know, like how difficult those puzzles, like that bullshit rookie one, and it's like these are in the same category. It's like what's he doing with his life? Yeah, no, this looks very clear. I mean, bishop h7, king h7, queen b1, king g8, queen takes b6, Maybe they can throw in rook a6? But then I can always play like queen b5 and protect my knight. Should be okay. Yeah, so, okay, let's go for it. And then just take. Should be fine. g6 doesn't change anything. Yeah. While not winning any material permanently, the trades that result from this combination release the pressure, leaving him a pawn up. So we don't actually win material here, so why? I mean, we did just pick up a pawn. Ah, rook fa8 wins back the pawn. Fine. I don't know why he couldn't give that. I mean, you could just put these extra 2 moves in and show that. And it's also not clear because, I mean, you're picking up b7. I don't know. Let's not think too much about it. I mean, bishop takes h7 is still the tactical theme. Okay, what are people saying? So there's bishop takes h7, queen b1, nice spot. For me, that takes a long time. Like, it really takes, like, evaluating the position as rigorously as I did it to be able to spot queen b1 there. Like, it doesn't come naturally. Bishop h7, king h7, queen b1, king g8, queen b6, bishop b2, queen a5, bishop f1, rook f1. Guess I've won a pawn. Yeah, that's how I felt as well. Interesting that Bob says, I don't like bishop h7 so much because you give the white squares away just for a single pawn. Also, concretely, Peter says, after queen b1, so bishop h7, king h7, queen b1, queen f5, queen takes b6, queen takes d5. Not sure white wins anything. Interesting. Let's have a look at that line. Yeah, I need to get better at like actually evaluating the position instead of just doing a material count. Because material count, it's such a common calculation error, which is like, you know, you think that you've won the material so you can stop there, but you actually need to evaluate the position and decide, is it actually good? Is it actually worthwhile? So queen f5 is actually top move, which was not played. Queen b6, queen takes d5. Yeah, knight f4 was the move that came in my head, but I was like, you know, I mean, they can still move the queen anywhere and protect the rook. It's not winning or something. But knight f4 was the move that came to mind with tempo. But yeah, queen e5. Yeah, I guess, like, you know, the computer evaluation, like, tells us a lot in the sense that, yeah, white is up 2 pawns, but the fact that it's only plus 0.6 means, like, obviously there's definite counterplay on the white squares. And I think this is where it's, like, a real skill to be able to evaluate, like, would you still go into this and win the pawn, or are we going to get cooked on the white squares? Even a move like this, I thought looked scary. But yeah, apparently it's just not. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. G5 apparently is the top move. Yeah. I don't know, what do you guys think about this? And starting with queen b1. Okay, starting with queen b1 is actually very interesting. That's the kind of move I would used to play. I would never see bishop takes h7, and I'd see queen b1. That's, but yeah, I guess it just takes on e2. And now black's the one to capture first. So they're just faster in all of these complications. Yeah, and this time there's rook a6, right? There's no way you can move the queen and defend the knight. Too late. Yeah. Knight f4 covers bishop h3, yeah. Right. Yeah, weird exercise. But I don't know. That's Woodpecker. Let's keep going. So at least we're looking at more forcing moves. I mean, this is also the goal. So okay, we've got rook, rook, bishop, 5 pawns against rook, rook, bishop, 4 pawns. So we're a pawn up. There is pressure on d4. We're defending it 3 times. There is x-ray pressure between the f rooks. Rook on d7, rook on f8 are loose. Rook on f1 is loose. If I was playing a blitz game, I don't know why, but this would be my instinct to try and just hold that piece and like try and like, I don't know, bring in my pieces in some way. That'd be like where I feel like I should go. But yeah, with these loose pieces, maybe there's something a bit more concrete. So let's look at our checks, captures, threats. So okay, checks. Got rook takes f6. That's the only check. Capture, that's also a capture. Any other captures or no? No other captures. Okay. And then threats, maybe rook d3 with this long-winded idea. g5 is a threat. Okay, let's start with g5 actually. I mean, we should start with rook f6. I mean, g5, it gives me good vibes, but okay, rook takes f6. Let's say they take with the pawn. What have we achieved, if anything? Looks pretty bad. Maybe rook d3, then king f7. Yeah. No, it's not rook f6. So what about with g5? Because I'm suddenly realizing if bishop takes, then we've got rook g1. And if they try and defend rook f5, then we've got rook g4. Which wins a piece. So g5, they can't take it. If they can't take it, then where do they go? If they go back to d8, we win the rook. If they go up to e7, we can take on e7. And if rook takes, and if they take on f1, we take on d7. So yeah, g5 just wins. g5, are there any checks they can do to us? Check. g5 they can take with the rook. We just take it. If g5 they take the pawn. Yeah, that's actually an interesting. Well, what if they take here? Because the thing is, if we take here, they've got a discovered check, right? Maybe they can discover like this. Maybe here I can block with the rook, and I hit their rook. But then they can take me with check, I take back, and they take my rook, so I'm not so sure about that. So g5, what if they take on d4? g5, they take on d4. The thing is, the only check I have in this position is here, in which they can block and do a discovered check. Don't like the look of that. Although maybe it's fine. Because we just move the king somewhere, and then we are threatening that bishop with the pawn. So g5, we do rook d3, does that lead somewhere? If they just go king h7... Maybe we go g6. If they go to the back rank, then we can take this and then take the bishop. And then we're up a piece. So g5, bishop takes d4, rook d3. If king h7, g6, and they're forced to go to the back rank. Okay, nice. And okay, if g5, bishop takes d4, rook d3, and they go king h5. Maybe I can go rook h1, king g4, and again I can take back the bishop because there's no rook hanging on f1 anymore. So yeah, I think g5, bishop d4, rook d3 is necessary. I think that works. Okay, nice. Nice. Ah, and I'm glad to see bishop d4 be played, and I'm glad I saw it. Because once upon a time, there's no way in hell I would have considered bishop d4 as counterplay. So that's good. That's very good. Yeah, and not rook takes f8 because of bishop c5. This is what I saw. In the game... Oh, they just resigned at this moment? Or... No, rook e6 and then they resigned. Okay, fine. Yeah, here they just moved the king. This is what I said. Oh, but king f7 I didn't see. But luckily, king f7, although it removes the rook that's pinning the bishop, they're now in a new pin from the rook on f1. So that's just luck. I didn't see king f7. Needed to be found though. But yeah, nice. Glad we got this one. Okay, let's check how chat got on. Why are people saying... Oh, yeah. So g5 bishop... So Cameron's doing the whole, I'm just gonna list white moves, or you guys are just confusing me. Yeah, I'm reading g5, bishop takes e7, and there's nothing on e7. So I'm just getting confused. So yeah, g5, bishop e7, rook e7, indeed. But g5, bishop takes d4 needs to be checked. Nice job, Peter. History Framework asks, am I a chess professional? Well, the bio on these streams seems to suggest that I am. I probably am. I am a chess professional in the sense that, like, I do chess. I don't compete professionally though, which I think that's what most people presume a chess professional to be. I kind of compete for vibes and self ambition, and then make my money in other areas of chess. g5, bishop d4, rook d6, king h7, g6, king g8, rook f8, king f8, bishop d4. Yes. Okay, looks like we all got it. And what's this line from phrase? g5, bishop takes d4, rook d6. I presume rook e6 is what you mean. Bishop f6, and then yeah, just move the king. Move the king and you win the bishop. Yeah, that's what I saw as well. But interesting that no one saw king f7 at this moment, which I do think is an important move to see. Nice. So I think we all got it. At least those of you who wrote on chat. So that's nice. I've probably got time for one final one real quick. So yeah, let's give this a go. I didn't think we got 8 puzzles, but this was a decent run. So okay. Puzzle Rush Instinct is just rook a8 and achieve something. I don't know. Okay, so I reached a new Puzzle Rush, Puzzle Storm high score yesterday, actually. I haven't really done many. Like, I haven't even done like 20 Puzzle Storms, I think. But I just started to try do them. And yeah, I'm kind of enjoying it right now. I think I'm just a little bit tactically sharper, so it like makes the whole process a lot more enjoyable. And it's good training, I think, for me. But okay, let's think. So we've got Queen, Rook, Knight, and 6 pawns against Queen, Rook, Knight, and 6 pawns. What is there to note? So our queen is pressuring the rook, our queen is pressuring the knight, queen is pressuring both pawns on the queen side, rook is pressuring f7, queen is connected to rook, their queen is connected to their rook. D4 is well supported by two pieces, where it's attacked by two pieces. Knight is a little awkward, but it can come back into the game. Like maybe knight f4 could be something, or some check, or some attack kind of idea. So we need to be a bit careful. Queen is the only piece defending the rook, which is being attacked. That feels a bit sus. Okay, so any loose pieces? No loose pieces. This guy is loose. Okay, so checks, we have no checks. Captures, we've got queen takes everything, and queen takes knight. Threats. For the record, when I look at all the checks, all the legal checks, all the legal captures, it's not necessarily that I'm considering them seriously as moves. It's also just to see that a capture exists, because down the line it might be relevant. And if I don't look for all the captures, I might end up missing a capture down the line that's in the starting position, because I haven't acknowledged it. So that's why I kind of do this, like, even though it sounds a bit stupid. So okay, rook takes f7, also a capture. And then threats. This is a threat, this is a threat. Rook a8 is a threat. Rook a6, maybe. Fine, so no checks. Okay, let's start with a capture. So rook takes, queen takes rook, queen takes queen. Nothing. If you take the knight, nothing. Take this pawn, take this pawn, take this pawn, or nothing. Okay, so what about threats? So if we were to go rook a8, we win the queen unless they take our rook. We take their rook. We now have two pieces attacking this. We are covering a1, so no check. They could come down and play queen a2, which gives us some different captures. Knight takes. Otherwise, we lose the knight. Taking on c6 would defend the knight. So there's promise with rook a8, but it doesn't seem immediately winning. So let's keep looking. So what about rook a6? It pressures the pawn. I don't know. They could play queen c7. If rook a7, they just go back. We don't want to draw. Okay, what about this pawn push? If they just come up? Maybe queen takes c6, and they need to really watch out for this rook a8. So here, if they try and play rook e6 in a bid to keep protection on c6, well, now we can think about taking on d4. Yeah, e5 kind of looks strong for that reason. e5, rook d5, queen takes c6, and how do they deal with this? Both the d6 and c5 squares to counter our queen are covered. So if here, like the rook is literally being hit, so I guess, yeah, they don't even have one of these squares. Yeah, so that looks winning. So what about like rook d7? Yeah, rook d7 is actually quite annoying. I'm looking at like e5, rook d7, rook takes queen d6. If takes, king f8. Yeah, it doesn't look like, d7, king e7, doesn't look like we're in time. I am tunnel visioning this a bit. Just because rook d7 feels like it's forced. I mean, I could just do e5, rook d7, rook takes, queen takes, and then just queen takes d4. And just be happy if I won a pawn. That looks like... I am very happy to win that pawn, actually. I think the more I look at it, the more I like it. Are we going to go for it? I think so. I think we just win a pawn in that line. So they go for this line, which we established wasn't good because I can take on c6. So I must have missed something if rook d7. There must have been something even more winning. Unless Axel Smith decided... Okay, so this does just win a pawn, but is there a difference between knight takes and queen takes? Okay, a decent amount of difference. I guess knight takes is threatening to win more. I guess queen takes I was just content with having this position and being able to like pressure this pawn in a more composed way. Knight takes feels like a bit more loose. But I guess, you know, if there's nothing, there's nothing. Like knight c6, I mean, you know, you got to be a bit careful. Like, yeah, there's queen takes d3 or knight e2. I mean, you got to be sure that this is fine. So, yeah, it's actually equal unless you've got knight e7 and you win 100%. So, I mean, yeah. Okay, I'm not wrong to have queen takes d4 in my calculation. Knight takes d4, you can't just play on a whim. You need to actually calculate that, which obviously I would do if the position arises. But to just be able to play the initial move, queen takes d4 is completely okay. So, yeah, this was very nice. I think this is the first session where we've actually got everything without missing anything serious. So, okay, probably I've done it before, but, you know, it's been a while. I think these exercises were a tad easier than normal. But, okay, let me just have a quick look to see how people did. What's my new score? I think my new score was 43, I want to say. I think I scored 43 on Puzzle Storm. So, trying to reach 40? Okay, I'm one step ahead of you still, Josh. Yeah, e5, exactly. Win a pawn. Nice. Yeah, glad to see Bobby Fischer also taking on d4 with the queen. Wow, and Cameron actually going for knight takes d4 like a baller. That's surprising to me. Yeah, as Cameron says, I did in fact just give knight takes d4 on a whim. Exactly. That's quite funny. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Depends what your thought process was, I guess. But, okay, guys, I gotta bounce. I gotta run. But this was great, and we will continue our Woodpecker training on Monday. We're almost 100 exercises to go. When Woodpecker finishes, the calculation grind does not stop. We want to hit become a title player this year. So we gotta grind. We gotta work hard, play hard, and yeah, I guess see you on Monday. Okay, have a good weekend. Bye, guys.